My first guest this evening is an Oscar-nominated actor. He's appeared in numerous films, including the classics Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Taxi Driver, and Mean Streets. Now, starting today, you can see him in the critically acclaimed film 3 Seasons. It is a real joy to welcome Harvey Keitel. Thank you so much for being here. Really great to have you.
My pleasure.
You know, I'm a little intimidated that you're coming on the show, so I went out and I bought the Harvey Keitel unauthorized biography called The Art of Darkness. And true story, I buy this thing, I crack it open, first page, first sentence, or first paragraph. Harvey Keitel is a tough interview. Ask anyone who's tried it. It's not that he won't talk to you, it's just that for the most part he will only talk about what he wants to talk about no matter what you ask him. Is this true?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh. You have to talk about it. All right, well, you know, one thing, you're doing Vegas now, huh?
No,
you want this guy's job?
when I watch the show, it always seems to me like he's having a great time.
Yeah, he does a good time.
Sure,
Yeah.
except I got to clean up after everybody leaves.
That's the downside.
Easy.
Yeah.
He'll be in my house at 10.
You know, one thing I've been thinking about is so many of these films that you've done, Reservoir Dogs, Taxi Driver, Bad Lieutenant. I know I'm being selective, but you play a real badass in a lot of these films. A very intense guy, tortured, a lot of problems, and you're a method actor, and you're supposed to draw on something within you. Are you about to snap at any moment? Are you?
No.
No. It's just that this is stuff, I mean, in a serious...
Conan. Didn't Arnold Schwarzenegger do your life story?
Oh, wait a minute, all right. No, you're being confused by my torso, which is... a lot of times people just see that and they're like, Schwarzenegger, right? I'm flexing right now and no one seems to notice. Do you find, though, that people are, because you've played these very intense roles, that people are intimidated when you meet them, that they can't separate the actor from the work?
I think that happens sometimes, but it's normal, confusion to make. I mean, actors create characters in order to tell stories that they're interested in telling.
Yeah. I mean...
You know, this is true. I just came out of the men's room, and there's a pair of men's jeans hanging over the toilet stall, and no one's in the bathroom.
That's my changing room. That's no men's room. Are there really? They're just, well, we have, that's kind of odd.
Where the guy is and how he's dressed right now.
You know what? He should be easy to spot. Any second now, we're going to see a guy with a headset standing naked from the waist down. This brings up something, which I think we have to talk about. You are nude in a lot of your movies. You are, and I know that's not in a lot, but you've in a bunch of roles, and I know men, that's a difficult thing sometimes. You know, to be. I mean, speaking for me personally, I will never be nude ever. I'm never naked, but that's something in a bunch of films I've noticed that you're very comfortable getting naked. In fact, I talked to you just before the show. I went into the green room completely nude. True story?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Those are your jeans, yeah. Is that? I mean, I think that's just is that something that you had to learn to get comfortable to do, or is it something you could just do?
Well, actors never do nude things. Actors tell stories, and they tell those stories to the depths of their talent and the dictates of their conscience. So nudity never enters into an actor's mind when he's doing a scene. It's important to tell the story. Truthfully, as honesty, you have the courage to tell it.
That's very cool.
So I say to my fellow
because that comes into my mind when I see you nude, that you're nude.
Well, you have to keep your eye on the donut and not on the hole.
Very nice. I can't wait till they take that quote out of context. Entertainment Weekly. We're looking back through all this giant body of work that you've done, so many films, and then I see one thing that I didn't expect to see, which is that you starred in a Kojak episode. Is it is this true? First of all, this must have been back before you got the movie roles.
Actually, I was the first guest star on Kojak.
Mm-hmm. How did you actually treated Kojak differently than most other characters that were on the show? What did your character do with Kojak?
Oh well, it was a hostage crisis situation. I was taking the hostage, and they sent Kojak in to negotiate. So he comes in, negotiates, leaves, comes back, and I said, "So what happened, Kojak?" Say, "Cut." They say, I was a young actor at the time. They say, "Harvey, his name is Kojak." I said, "How would I remember that?" who has a name like Kojak?
So Telly Savalas must not have been too happy.
No, he was very supportive of it, I must say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he let you keep going. We actually have something I want to show here that I thought was fascinating. You did a science fiction film.
I'm sorry, but something else happened there, because there was an old Jewish fellow, I always remember this, who was one of the hostages. So he steps forward to say, you know, you will not, you know, do this to us people, something like that.
Right.
And my line was, "So you want to be a hero?" So I said, "Oh, you want to be a hero?"
You're a wise guy.
He said, "Harvey, you can't say that." I said, "Why not?"
So you decided, I'm going to get into independent film. Enough of this.
I think I better get into independent film.
Yeah. Let's talk about 3 Seasons, which I want to point this out. This is the first time a film has ever won an audience award and a grand jury prize at the Sundance Festival. People are very excited about this movie. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this young writer-director, Tony Bui, he's a young poet. He's an important talent on the scene. And he wrote this wonderful story about people trying to reconcile fathers with their daughters. There's a lovely story in the film about this young Vietnamese prostitute who was trying to struggle with this life she has of denigration, and her struggle to regain her self-esteem, and a young man that comes along in her life that sees beyond this denigrating place she has in the society to her loving aspects. And it's these stories of struggle, of human struggle, to find one's self-esteem and to find a good life. And when I read the script, I couldn't help but hear the sound of the Vietnam War resonating every page I read here. That once upon a time our politicians went to Vietnam, and there was a war that ensued. We killed them, and they killed us. And today this young American Vietnamese of Vietnamese descent returns to Vietnam with a gun loaded with poetry. And the result is a story that we can all see ourselves in.
The story is incredible. Also, the cinematography in this movie, as I was telling you before the show, it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant-looking movie, and we have a clip just to give people a taste. Is there something we need to know for this specific scene?
Well, one, our cinematographer won the award for best cinematography. This is a scene, I believe, in which this Vietnam veteran whom I play returns to find the daughter he never knew that left behind in Vietnam.
Okay, let's take a look at this clip from 3 Seasons.
I've made many mistakes in my life, most of which I will have to live with. When a chance comes around to make a wrong a right, it's a special thing. And by meeting you today, I hope to make one thing right. I'm sorry. These are for you.
The movie is 3 Seasons. Movie is 3 Seasons. It's in theaters right now. Encourage people to go see it. And this is a real thrill for us to have you come on the program.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And remember, keep your eye on the donut. not the whole. You remember one thing. Harvey Keitel, everybody. Harvey Keitel, everybody. Be right back. Michael Rappaport coming up. Stick around.